I thought the end of the journey would feel like victory, like resolution, like arrival. But what I reached instead was something quieter. If you've ever wondered what comes after survival, listen to this. There was no finish line, no moment where everything clicked and life suddenly made sense. What came instead was a quiet place, not physical, internal. A place where I wasn't bracing anymore. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't preparing for impact. I wasn't waiting for something to fall apart. I wasn't scanning for what might go wrong. I was just here, and that felt unfamiliar. For so long, movement had been survival. Keep going, keep proving, keep enduring. Stopping felt dangerous. But this wasn't stopping. It was standing. Standing inside a life that finally felt proportionate. Not perfect, not easy, just honest. Nothing dramatic had changed. Work was still work. People were still human. The world was still loud. But inside me there was room. Room to feel without collapsing. Room to choose without panic. Room to rest without guilt. I realized that what I had been chasing wasn't success. It was safety, not the kind that comes from control, the kind that comes from self-trust. I trusted myself now, not because I had answers, but because I knew how I would respond when answers didn't come. I knew I wouldn't abandon myself to keep the peace. I knew I wouldn't rush past pain just to feel normal again. I knew I could hold complexity without losing my footing. That trust changed everything. The world didn't feel smaller, it felt manageable. I stopped needing life to validate me, stopped needing outcomes to justify effort. I was no longer living toward a future version of myself. I was living as the one who had already been shaped. And that realization settled deep. This quiet place wasn't emptiness, it was integration. Everything I had carried, the effort, the loneliness, the waiting, the pain, it had formed something stable, something I could live inside instead of constantly rebuilding. I understood now why the journey had been slow, why nothing resolved all at once. This kind of steadiness can't be rushed. It has to be earned through presence. If you're listening to this and you're still walking, still questioning, still carrying weight, still planting seeds that haven't grown, I want you to know something. The quiet place exists, not at the end of effort, but at the end of resistance. You don't reach it by forcing life to make sense. You reach it by staying honest long enough for your footing to settle. This isn't the end of the road. It's the place you finally learn how to stand without leaning. And from here, whatever comes next will be met by someone who is no longer trying to become whole. You already are. Here is the last metaphor for this month. I hope you like it. Imagine standing all day, not running, not fighting, just standing. Holding your posture, staying alert, ready for whatever comes next. You didn't realize how tired you were because standing had become normal. Then, near the end of the day, you find a chair. Nothing special about it. No cushion calling your name. Just a solid place to sit. When you lower yourself into it, your body exhales before your mind does. You're not done with life. You're not quitting. You're just supported. That's what the quiet place felt like. Not an ending, not a reward, a place where you didn't have to brace anymore, where you could rest without feeling like you were falling behind. The world didn't disappear. The noise didn't vanish. But you were finally seated inside yourself, and from there, everything felt manageable.